Similar to the value complexity chart, it's important for a product manager to establish the right expectations and understanding around these metrics. A good research of past performance based on various metrics would provide good insight to the stakeholders to establish a benchmark. For example, if you were to say that 10K customers is an impact score of 3, which is high impact, take some examples from the past. Pick a feature that has impacted 10K customers. Did that seem high, or should the benchmark be even higher? Giving examples of real situations from the near past can provide a quick contrast for the stakeholders to provide a decision to you as quickly as possible. In addition, during negotiation or persuasion efforts, always go into the meeting with a good understanding of where each of the stakeholders are. Stakeholders, depending on the RACI chart, should never be taken by surprise. The right level of communication is required for a smooth progress of the project. So invest that time in making sure you understand what they want and also setting their expectations on what to expect. With that said, prioritization is an art and science. Not all answers will be easy, and it is those difficult situations that will actually help you grow. Refinement is a simpler exercise compared to prioritization. However, it is heavily influenced by the needs of the team and who the audience is. There is also a fine line between the time it takes to document the details versus getting the requirements to the team on time. In Agile methodology, user stories are known to be the level at which you can start looking at details for estimation and assessment. However, from the overall product level, you need to break them down into features. You may use themes for an additional level of categorization, and then features are broken down into epics. From epics come user stories, and once you have these user stories from the product owner or the manager, the Agile team can start looking at the refinement of these user stories. To break down the user story into tactical tasks, the Agile team comes together to understand the details and then assign them to the relevant members. Apart from the task itself, the user story may miss relevant details or may have to be broken down into further sub-stories. Ultimately, the level of refinement is dependent on how the user story is used and tracked for the purposes of product development. In addition to the general guidance on prioritization and refinement, it is also key to remember some of the good and bad habits around both topics to avoid learning bad behaviors.